afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our disability inclusion proposal. Walking around campus, going to lectures, sometimes I will see people with disabilities, and I wonder if their school life is slightly harder because of their disabilities. And is there anything that we can do as a community to make their life slightly easier and make them feel included and be just like the rest of us? We have discovered a few difficulties that people with disabilities might face. First is the non-user-friendly accessibility information on campus. Second is the difficulty of interacting with surroundings due to many communication barriers caused by the difficulties. And lastly, it's difficult to follow up on suggestions made about the campus. And here's our solution. The HKU accessibility app, iToolbox. And here's how.
So first of all, when you download the app, you actually, this is the first aspect of the app, is the personalized tools part. So in the personalized tools part, when you download the app, you'll actually be asked to customize the app in accordance to the type of difficulties that you have. So in this example, I selected hearing difficulties and speech difficulties. And if I selected these, the app will be actually personalized to fit your needs. And the tools that are respective tools will be stored in the personalized toolbox part. Okay, so there's a lot of tools that we designed for people with different disabilities. However, we only have time right now to talk about one of them. So this is live transcribe. So live transcribe transcribe the type of text that you talk when you talk. It will actually transcribe it into speech, text.
And moreover, this feature is actually developed based on the technology was available on Google API, namely the speech to text API, which allows us to do the transcription in an easy manner. We also have developed many other features that are also based on the same API philosophy. And yeah. And moreover, we also have designed to report accessibility issue, which allows us the user to report inconvenience that are unavailable on the inaccessibility on campus. And they can provide voice description or text description. After that, there was a report issue that can be tracked using a sales indicator.
So the next part of the app is the request assistance tab. So where people can actually connect, users of the app can actually connect with volunteers through text chat, voice chat, video call, and actually get in-person assistance. And the next part of the app is the community hub. And there's actually two parts to this. So first of all, users of the app can actually connect with others through social events. And the next part of the app is that people can actually connect with other users who are in close proximity through private messaging. Oh, wait, sorry. Okay. So now is on to the market study part of the app. So in the market study, there's actually a lot of existing solutions for people with disabilities. However, they all have some common issues. So first of all, they're really expensive, and also a lot of these apps only focus on one specific difficulty. And next of all, there's a lot of these apps focus on the individual aspects of people, and also there are usually a lot of bugs in these apps. So how we hope to fix this? How we hope to fix this problem is our solution is that first of all, we hope that the iToolbox, the fees for this app will actually be covered by the university. And then second of all, we hope that the combined functionality in this app will actually allow users of different needs to actually use this same app. And third of all, we hope to encourage community building, and last but not least, we will provide continuous support and bug fixes along the way.
So moving on to the expected impact, there are several beneficiaries. So the three major ones are people with disabilities, students, and HKU. So for the people with disabilities, they'll feel more included in the community, they can reduce the barriers by facilitating communication, and to improve their experience with campus facilities. While for students, they learn to become more inclusive and aware, and to help to submit accessibility problems on campus. Most importantly, to understand what is the exact needs of people who have disabilities. While for HKU itself, it kind of gained a good reputation for disability inclusion, to promote inclusion within society, and most importantly, to understand the needs of what disabled students are.
To tackle with the potential risks, we've come up with 3 strategies. Volunteers can station in the campus, and we could update the app regularly to include latest announcement, and also allow offline access to certain functions of the app.
So I believe time is running out, so this is our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Can I ask, can you give us just one very specific example of how the app helps towards one particular group?
Okay, so I think, for example, there's in the sign-up process, you actually be asked to select the type of difficulties that you have. So, for example, if I have, for example, speech impairments or like visual impairments, I can select that part of the app. And so, wait a second. There's like in the main part of the app, you actually be so you'll be at, there's 4 parts of the app. So in the 4 parts of the app, the first part is going to be the toolbox part. So the toolbox part will actually combine all the parts of the app. For example, if I have speech impairments, it will show like the list of tools that can help with my speech impairment. For example, maybe like sometimes there's like text-to-speech functions. So maybe what we plan is, for example, if I can't like if for example I can't speak, so maybe I can type out the text I want to say out in the app, and actually it will be able to connect to the lecture room speaker. So right now, the scope of the app, we're hoping to focus in the HKU scale. However, in the future, we plan to, for example, roll this out into like a larger scale, for example, to other universities as well. So using the app, the software that we love. Yeah. So that's kind of what we're working.
It was a little unclear to me if the app is only going to be sort of targeting those people with disabilities that you discussed, or if it is really more universal, and exactly how you're going to incentivize people across campus to get involved in using it. And I'm also wondering what you see as the trade-offs of something that's more targeted or universal from a social inclusion perspective.
So I guess like right now we're focusing on the four main disabilities that like there's definitely a lot of people that we could potentially help with this app, but right now because of our current limited scope, we are kind of focusing on the 4 main difficulties, like for example mobility difficulties, auditory, speech, and speech difficulties. So there's the four main difficulties that we're trying to help people with, but also we do understand that there's people with special educated needs, for example like maybe like dyslexia. There's like a lot of types of difficulties that other people have, and we'll try to address that in the future. But right now, we want to focus on these 4 difficulties first, and actually make sure that we can actually produce a viable product that can actually like make sure that actual people will find it useful. And so before that happens, we'll try to. After that happens, we'll try to roll other future updates. So that's what we mean by future updates and bug fixes. Yeah.
Can you describe what type of market research you did for the product? So, what kind of client engagement did you take, and what is the real value proposition of your app, and how did those results kind of feed back into the process of your product design?
So we use different pathways to actually try to connect with people who have disabilities within HKU right now. So however, in the time frame, we actually contacted seniors and the Equals Opportunity Unit. However, they didn't get back to us until just yesterday. But however, we did try to go out our way to actually contact and do more research on the apps that we actually that are on the market, and we tried to do an investigation of what's the good parts of the app and what's the negative sides of these apps, and we tried to like identify the issues and actually implement. For example, like if you see in the user interface of the app, a lot of the buttons are very big and like they're clear icons, and the colors are very sharp, and like there isn't like the user interface is very clean. So that's actually one of the fixes that we did in comparison to a lot of other apps that are aimed for people with disabilities. Maybe like it's actually easier to use when these buttons are bigger, for example. So this is this one. Yeah.
Hi. Hi. Okay. A very exciting idea. Really enjoyed the presentation as well. I have 2 questions related to the questions that we're asked to answer as well. One is about the team composition and the confidence that we have in the team. And the other one is about the budget and whether or not what you're asking for is appropriate. So my question is, a lot of the technology that you're proposing exists in this static way, may potentially be patented or may potentially be locked into certain organizations. Do you have access to these technologies, and do you need to buy them? Or do you need to develop them yourself, and do you have the knowledge in-house to develop them?
In principle, we have the technology to develop them in-house, but we do find it much easier to use, say, Google API or Cloud API, for example. It's a readily accessible API that is available at a relatively low cost, and many of them are actually, of the features are actually can simply be implemented with the connection to the API.
So what's it?
And
So what's the
cost-
budget that you need to
So
design
say
for?
for the speech to text, for example, for every 1,000 minutes of recording, we only need around $200 Hong Kong dollars of budget to run it. So it is a really, really low cost to consistently running in the providing service.
So my question, I have a couple of questions. One is, how many disabled people are on your team? That's question one. How many disabled people are on your team?
In our team, there isn't any, but we're trying to use our other resources that are available to us for the internet and like the organizations in our select series and Equals Opportunity Unit. We're trying to contact these people to actually get at like a personal understanding of their people with these difficulties.
So in total, how many disabled people do you know?
Right now, we haven't contacted any because we haven't. We actually contacted seniors, but they have gone back to what it was yesterday. So they are willing to actually help us in this aspect. So they actually asked us to provide some information. They asked us to provide some information, and when we get back to them, they'll actually connect us with people mentioned in